Recently, the southern region of the United States has been flooded with signs of wild boars. They uproot the land, break tree trunks, and leave deep muddy tracks in the still damp red soil. We couldn't let this destruction continue, so we decided to organize a hunt, not only to protect the land and crops, but also to eliminate these natural destroyers known as the beasts of the wild. Will today's hunt bring the results we hope for? What surprises await us in the silent wilderness? Join us and find out now. We started climbing the mountain at dawn while the sky was still faintly lit. The steep, slippery terrain made progress challenging, but the team maintained a steady pace. Once we reached the high point, we quickly checked our guns, ammo, and gear. Each person spread out in different directions, staying connected through walkie-talkies and signal lights. The hunt officially begins. As I was moving along a narrow slope between two rocky outcrops, suddenly a noise erupted from the bushes ahead. Before I could even signal, a jet-black wild boar burst out, heavy in body but astonishingly fast. I immediately raised my rifle and aimed straight at its shoulder. The shot rang out. The beast faltered for a few steps, then collapsed, writhing briefly before falling still. A few hundred meters away, a teammate was facing a giant beast of his own. It didn't run but slowly advanced, as if ready to attack. Without hesitation, he took careful aim and fired. The gunshot echoed through the forest. The wild boar instantly leapt up, writhing in pain before collapsing onto the rocky ground. This place seemed to be a regular path for the wild boars, so finding them wasn't difficult. As we were discussing our ambush positions, suddenly, from the nearby bushes, another boar burst. Not letting it escape, he quickly spun around and squeezed the trigger just as the beast flashed past the muzzle. The bullet struck its hip, causing it to stagger a few steps before collapsing on the sloped ground, groaning in pain before falling completely still. After that takedown, we continued moving down the mountainside. Suddenly, the sharp barks of hunting dogs echoed ahead, signaling the presence of prey. The team immediately quickened their pace to close in. From the forest edge, two wild boars suddenly burst out. I took a quick aim and pulled the trigger. One was hit and dropped instantly. The other, terrified, fled desperately into the woods. Determined not to let the prey escape, we immediately gave chase and quickly spotted hurried footprints pressed into the damp earth. Suddenly, the beast darted right past us. Without hesitation, I raised my rifle and took a split-second shot. The gunshot echoed as the bullet struck its hip, sending it crashing to the ground. After taking down the prey, we scanned the surroundings. Signs indicated the herd had likely scattered down into the forest, a lower area dense with trees ripe for destruction. Without hesitation, the team decided to move on and continue the tracking. No surprise there. In less than 5 minutes, a wild boar suddenly appeared, charging wildly through the low bushes ahead. Wasting no time, I swiftly raised my rifle and fired instinctively. The shot echoed sharply through the sparse forest. The beast staggered a few steps before collapsing onto the ground. The moment the shot rang out, the entire forest seemed to tremble. Immediately, another wild boar burst out from nearby bushes, panic-stricken and desperate to escape. Not letting it get far, I quickly swung my rifle around and fired again. The bullet struck its back, sending the beast tumbling down with no chance to fight back. After hours of relentless pursuit, we decided to withdraw, following the trail back to the rendezvous point. Suddenly, a large wild boar appeared just a few dozen meters ahead. Without hesitation, I raised my rifle and fired in an instant. The prey was hit and completely subdued, an unexpected ending to today's intense hunting journey. All the prey in today's hunt were taken down cleanly, within legal limits, and in full compliance with the hunting regulations in this area. Not only did we help protect the crops, but we also eliminated many potential threats to the local communities. Having been a hunter for many years, I've experienced quite a few thrilling chases. But stepping foot in Louisiana for the first time, everything still made me restless and excited like a rookie. The air here was thick with the smell of damp earth, dry leaves rustling beneath my feet, and wild sounds occasionally echoing from afar. I knew I was about to enter a hunt unlike any I'd experienced before. We had carefully planned the hunt for several days, and now it was time to officially begin. First, the whole team took advantage of early morning to check the bait traps. In Louisiana, hunting laws are very strict, especially regarding mechanical traps that can injure animals. Therefore, bait traps are still widely used and considered more legal. Look over there, a herd of wild boars, busily rooting around the trap. My heart rate spiked. I raised my gun, aimed at the boar standing closest to the edge for the best shot, then squeezed the trigger. The shot rang out, and the boar collapsed instantly. The rest scattered in panic. It was a bit disappointing to take down only one, but such a start wasn't bad at all. Leaving the trap area, I happened to come across a deep waterhole with a few wild boars lingering nearby. Though not very large in size, each one looked plump and healthy, enough to stir the hunter's blood in me. However, these creatures were incredibly sensitive and alert. Even the slightest noise would set them off, and they'd scatter before I had any chance to take aim. In the end, I decided to climb up a high hunting stand to lie in wait. One wild boar slowly approached the stand, unaware of the danger ahead. This was my chance. I quickly raised my gun and fired, but the shot missed, and the lucky boar managed to escape. A gentle start like that was enough. I climbed down from the stand and began to carry my rifle deeper into the forest, searching for traces of other boars. It didn't take long before the next target appeared. Today was truly a lucky day for me. I kept running into one group after another. This time, I couldn't rush it. I quietly raised my gun, held my breath, focused my eyes for a perfect aim, and pulled the trigger. A single clean shot, the boar crashed down hard, lying stiff on the forest floor. By the afternoon, the whole team decided to change tactics. We drove an airboat to hunt wild boars out in the fields. I sat on the deck of the boat, clutching my gun tightly and scanning every nook and cranny. There it was, a boar appeared on the right without any signal. My friend Ash immediately steered in that direction, waiting until the boat ran parallel to the prey. With a perfect aim, I didn't hesitate to pull the trigger. The shot didn't instantly take down the boar, but it wounded it badly enough that it jumped up, then lay thrashing until it was exhausted. Just look at its size, clearly a formidable pest. Luckily, today we managed to take it down. Driving an airboat to hunt wild boars in the fields is definitely an experience you must try in Louisiana. Unlike the tension in every step through the forest, the vast open fields become a playground of speed and reflexes. The roaring engine and the sound of digging into the ground easily alert the boars and make them flee, so there's no room for hesitation. As soon as the prey shows up, we have to aim quickly and squeeze the trigger in a split second. One missed shot and the boars will slip into the tall grass and disappear immediately. Ash steered the airboat to another, less dense area. The hunters in the team split up, each watching a different direction. 15 minutes passed in silence when suddenly Harry stood up and pointed forward. A small wild boar was glimpsed in the distance. A burst of gunfire rang out. The target was completely taken down. So another boar's carcass was loaded onto the boat. The hunt ended with results beyond expectations. Although the whole team was exhausted, everyone was filled with excitement. Louisiana did not disappoint. Wild boars, the experience, and the feeling of satisfaction after each successful shot are truly hard to describe in words. sound of gunfire and barking dogs echoed through the forest, signaling that the hunt was in full swing. Our hunt took place in a forest in southwestern Germany with dense vegetation that is ideal for wild boar to live. The hunting trips are not for recreational purposes. We just want to destroy and control the wild boar population because they are developing into a scary invasive species. In Germany, being a hunter is not just about taking a gun into the woods and shooting. We have to undergo at least a year of training, learning about the law, ecology, animal ethics, and even animal anatomy. Only after passing the exam and getting a hunting license can I officially enter the world of German hunters. Every time we go into the forest, we have to be alert. One wrong step, one strange noise, and the pigs can run away, or worse, they can counterattack. Early in the morning, we were in the forest, lying in ambush at the high huts that had been built for better observation. It didn't take long before we heard the sound of hurried footsteps, and then the shaggy black figures appeared. My comrades and I quickly loaded our guns. A series of gunshots tore through the quiet atmosphere. Some of the big pigs fell, others ran away in all directions. After the shot, my heart was still pounding. Even though the morning was still chilly, I felt my body heating up. Perhaps it was due to the excitement mixed with nervousness. European wild boars are not like in picture books or fairy tales. They are not slow or stupid. On the contrary, they are intelligent, highly organized, and extremely dangerous when cornered. That is why we always keep a safe distance to hunt them. Through the tree trunks and dry leaves, I saw a wild boar appear. It was looking around warily. I slowly raised the gun, keeping my breathing steady. Even the slightest noise would ruin the whole ambush. I held my breath and pulled the trigger. The wild boar couldn't escape. Another wild boar appeared, but it seemed to have sensed the danger and ran away. Not giving it a chance to escape, I killed it with a fatal shot to its chest. There are many wild boars living in this forest. They have strong reproductive ability and high survival rate. Therefore, each hunting trip, we can kill dozens to hundreds of wild boars. Well, another wild boar appeared on mountainside. I raised my gun. The moment I pulled the trigger, all sound seemed to stop. The boar was hit, staggered, and collapsed. Because it was a steep slope, it rolled several times and fell down the mountainside. That it seems that on this hunting trip, we entered the lair of wild boars. They kept appearing and were also continuously destroyed. Every time I kill a wild boar, I don't feel happy. But for the sake of protecting the environment and ecosystem, we need to do it for a long time. As the afternoon wore on, we gathered in a grassy area and counted the boars. The boars lay there, huge, fierce, and powerful. We don't waste wild boar meat. After processing, the wild boar meat is marinated and dried in the traditional way. The taste is rich, wild, and full of the flavor of the forest. But for me, the greatest reward is the lesson of survival and teamwork. Wild pigs are the #1 enemy of farmers in the area, including me, and the fight against them seems to be endless as they reproduce rapidly and cause terrible damage. Although many measures have been taken to deal with them, they are not very effective, especially in Texas, where they grow rapidly due to the abundance of food. Many veteran hunters in the area have honed their skills in hunting wild boars, killing one with one shot. The wild boars in this area are no joke. They are intelligent, stubborn, and extremely aggressive when attacked. Even so, we still have to confront them, not for the pleasure of hunting, but to protect the fields. We gathered early in the morning and planned an effective hunt. The group divided into small groups and assigned ambushes in different locations. Our indispensable companions were the hunting dogs. Experienced hunters say, hunting wild boars is not an easy task. They have thick, sharp tusks and are very intelligent animals. They are very aggressive and unpredictable when hunted. The fur and skin of wild boars are very thick, and they react very quickly, so it is not easy to take them down with a shot. That it didn't take long for the dogs to find a large wild boar. They surrounded and drove the prey to the location where we were ambushing, just waiting for the wild boar to appear. The bullet would kill it instantly. Just after killing this wild boar, a report came from the radio that there was a large herd of wild boars active in the eastern part of the mountain. We quickly moved there, and indeed a herd of about 15 wild boars was running away when they heard the gunshots. All hunting teams opened fire. We prioritize killing the leaders or the largest ones. To aim accurately is not easy. It not only requires the hunter's skills, but also depends on the type of hunting gun used each time. With good position and range, we shot down a few of the largest, the rest ran away in all directions. We divided our teams to hunt them down, determined not to let any wild boar escape. After many hunting trips, we realized that wild boars need to be shot accurately so that they cannot escape. because if they escape this time, they will return and cause even worse destruction. Some of the wild boars escaped and hid in the dense forest. We tracked them down and killed a few more wild boars. In the afternoon, we gradually retreated to the area near the farm, where wild boars often appear to feed. Sure enough, near the fence, we found a few wild boars grazing. A loud explosion tore the silence apart, and the wild boar collapsed on the spot. We quickly went to check and found that it was a giant wild boar. Before dark, we moved to the pig trap area to see if any were nearby. These traps are usually set around the mountainous areas, baited with corn kernels to lure them out. Approaching the trap, we found a wild boar. It was eating the bait while looking around warily. In fact, wild boars are very smart. They often run away when they hear strange noises or feel danger. Therefore, we need to approach them slowly so that they do not detect us. Suddenly, a gunshot rang out. It was my friend Evant next to me who fired. The wild boar collapsed. It struggled a few times and then became still. Before returning to the village, we encountered another wild boar. Evant took it down with a single shot. After taking inventory and collecting the spoils, we returned to the village to rest and regain our strength. Every week, we organized a small-scale hunt. Every month, a large-scale hunt with the determination to not let them destroy the crops anymore. Today's video ends here. Hopefully, we will bring you an interesting topic. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel.